Welcome to Mary's Eclectic Interests. I'm going to introduce you to some of the different puzzles on the market. Now this is a used puzzle. I've gotten them at the church sales, these 8 puzzles, but somebody was kind enough that after they put them all together to put them in separate bags. Now I don't know if these puzzles normally come in separate bags. I would think so. But this puzzle isn't in a separate bag now, and I'm not sure how I'm going to proceed with this. Because altogether, there's like 2,000 pieces of 8 different puzzles all together in one big box. When I was finished, I had this picture, this picture, this picture, this one, and this picture. This one was missing, and this one was missing. And there are pieces missing on some of the other ones. I finally finished. These are all the pieces left over. You can see there are puzzle pieces that have absolutely nothing to do with any of those puzzles. And here's one of them. And here's another. I don't know where they belong to, but they don't belong anywhere near the puzzles I put together. This is actually an old CD or DVD. I spray painted them. Now, when I spray paint, I go outside. I do not do these in my house. The fumes are very, very bad, and it just takes forever to get them out. This one, you can see I accidentally didn't spray paint it real well, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be covered. So here's a spray painted one. You can use different backings when you're finished. This one, I just put a cardboard backing on it. Which, if I was ambitious and wanted to, I could, of course, just glue this on. And then when it's on a piece of furniture, it'll, it won't scratch or do anything. And not only do I have this and this, but a lot of your DVDs and CDs come with a top clear plastic. That you could set on top. Just let it go loose, or you could glue it down if you wanted to. But you could put let's say a can of pop or something like that. I wouldn't put anything really hot because it would melt. But you could put a cold beverage on there. The other thing that I found that I really liked for the backing, besides this happens to be, let's see, I'll put it up here, because I have black on black. You're not going to see that very well. So let's do this. This happens to be from a sink mat. And I cut this circle out so that it would go around your drain. Well, it goes pretty darn good on here, and it's non-slip. It's not going to go anywhere. When you get this on, it just sits there. So I really like that one. And I haven't put this on yet. And I also like the fact that there's little tiny, looks like little tiny stones on there. You can see, whoops. You can see that it looks like little rocks. So here's a good backing. Here's another one, just a piece of material, piece of felt. Anything that you happen to have in your house. You can use this for a top if you happen to have the clear one, to put a can of pop or something else on there so that you don't ruin these particular, ruin your jigsaw puzzle coaster or whatever you want to call this, because if you put a can of pop on here, of course, if any of that liquid comes out, it's going to become sticky. So that's just some of the things that you can do. Now let's make one. Normally I would put down some wax paper, but I think I'm going to try and use this. I like to take my craft glue, and this is not washable craft glue. This is regular craft glue. And I like to paint everything on. I like to paint the glue on. Now this may not be a very good paintbrush because it's kind of a wimpy little thing. And guess what? That's going to just roll on down. So let's see how this is going to, ta-da! I told you, isn't that nice? It just sits there. What I'm going to use are all of these extra puzzle pieces. I have no idea. Like I said, those were all extra ones in that one 8 puzzle container. And I'm not the neatest little person to, I'll tell you, neatness is not my middle name any more than patience is. And I'm hoping I don't get anything on my board here. In case you're wondering if this black board is, it is to put together your puzzles so that you put them together at an angle so that you don't have to wrench your neck every time as you're putting them together. So you're putting your puzzles together at a slant. Okay, here's a bunch of glue on here. And I don't worry because this glue does dry clear. And I'm just going to start throwing these on. Whoops. I suppose I should start from the inside. And it doesn't really matter because you're going to put multiple layers on. And I'm not being as picky with this because this is just a show and tell thing. The first layer, you're going to be spaced out a little more. You have to just keep layering it till you get it all in. And this is a smaller space, and these are bigger. The bigger your puzzle pieces, the more area you're going to use. I'm not even sure if this is going to work, because as the saying goes, haste makes waste. And I also like the straight pieces, because I like to put those around the edge. But I don't have any straight pieces. So I'm just going to push these all in here the best I can. And sometimes I will literally take, what did I do with it? I like using a scissors because sometimes I don't like all these little knobbies, and I'll just cut them off just to get them out of the way. Oh, well, there it all goes. And so sometimes I'll take the knobs off so that I can have a straight piece on the end. But like I said, I'm just throwing these all on here. I'm not doing it very well. Normally I'm a little more meticulous, but we're just going to do this. And then if you need something to go in those smaller areas, again, I'll take a scissors and just cut what I need. And many of these wreaths that I do, because this is falling all over here, they're multiple layers. They're not just one layer. There could be 5, 6 layers that I'm putting on. It would be nice if I wasn't doing it on this because it is, everything slides down. Okay, we're getting at least the first layer somewhat on there. And I would also usually go and let it dry and then start another layer. But because I'm filming this, let's just slap on some more paint, or some more. So let's just put on some more glue. And I also on the other ones, I was very decisive on what pieces I was putting on. I had I would put certain colors on and then do that. Now you see this, there's some pretty big gaps. So then the next layer, and I haven't put my glue all the way around, but you're just going to alter it. Put it on top to cover some of those spaces. See how that goes? Just put it right on top. All the way around. I actually have a straight piece. These are the ones I really like to put on the edge. See how they go? And you get that nice edge, but there aren't very many of those. Trying to keep this so it won't slide down. Oops, I have to put some glue over here, don't I? And as you notice, I'm not too worried about the glue. I'm just throwing it on. It will dry clear. Sometimes you can Mod Podge the top or do something on the top, but I just have a tendency to throw more glue or try not to. There we go. And now we're going to go downward. Whoops, there we go. I want to get these over the other pieces. That's a nice long one. And you don't have to put them in any particular direction. You just kind of throw them in there. But you want to try and get them as flat as you can. Now here again, look at that narrow area. I'm not going to be able to get to... Can I get that in there? No. So I'm just going to cut this. This happens to be a straight edge, which I'm surprised I found one. And I'm going to try and put that in between here. And now we put another layer. And that's what you do. You just put one layer on top of the other layer, on top of the other layer, until you come out with something rather interesting. And I don't have that many puzzle pieces, because I'm only using what I have left over from that one box. Oops. Now, if you wanted to, and you don't like the color of this, that's when you go and you can spray paint or do something else with it on. Let's say you wanted it all green for a Christmas theme or that type of thing. I just didn't care for it. With something this small, you could easily do. I like textured paint a lot for some reason. But you could do, any color you wanted. And, whoops, that one's flying over. There. And I'm going to have to throw these out here so I can see what I've got. Now this I don't like, and I'm getting my sleeves, as you notice, into the glue, so I'm going to bring that glue up a little bit. I don't care for this. It's not stuck down yet, so let's go this way instead. And sometimes I like the little knobbies to stick over. It makes a rather interesting design. So these aren't stuck yet. So I'm going to do every other. And I don't like this one here at all. There. And it's a little too cold to go out and do any spray painting here. It's about 40 degrees. So I do like these purple ones though. I wonder how many of these I have that I can go around. I think I'm out of those. Darn. Well, I'll just use these then. And now again, I have an area that I don't think I have. Oh, here's a cut one that I can put in right there. So that's basically it. And you just keep bringing it up to where you want. This is 3 layers. That's pretty good. I'm going to push this out a little bit. There we go. And then you just let it dry. I'll put some glue on top. It'll dry. It dries clear. Maybe I can get rid of the last of these. Except for I do like this pretty color here, those purples. But here's some really nice blue tones. Not enough glue there. I think I'm putting a little too much glue. Sometimes you can get a little carried away with that glue. And as each layer goes on, you see the different colors going down. You could see going from brown to purple, and I'm going to put this over here, skip a little space. I'm really running out here of puzzle pieces. But I do want something right. Oh, that'll work. Goes in there. Now this you could turn around and you could make it into a wreath. I'm going to get rid of those two because they don't even go in with that. And I have this one left. Can I get rid of my last one? Can I cut it up? One time to use supports, because I needed supports, I would cut just the little knobbies off and then put them, put them in between certain pieces so that it wouldn't fall. So you could put it in here, and then that would keep this from falling into the gap. And this is the very, very last one. Let's see if I can get this in here. We'll go right here. Now we wait, and that will dry eventually, and all of this, you won't see all of that white. It'll be gone. Let's see if I can take some of that out of there. All that white will go away, and you'll end up with this, something like this. So now you've made either a little mini wreath or a little coaster or whatever you would like to do. Or you could actually, if you had quite a few, you could put ribbon in between and have them hanging down in clusters. So you could do quite a few things. If you wanted to, you could put a photo in there, have the photo in the middle, and then you'd have this really cool edging. So that's another use for them. This puzzle is called a murder mystery puzzle. What you see on the outside is not what is in the inside. It's a completely different puzzle. And what you're going to end up doing is putting the puzzle together and using the clues in the puzzle to solve the mystery. And there will be a story. Here's another mystery puzzle. It's called Foul Play and Cabernet. This one is in Hollywood in the 1937 era. And so it's a little bit different. And I thought it was rather interesting. It's called Mystery Story Series. This murder mystery puzzle is based on the NCIS TV series. Now, some of these puzzles, to see if you solved it correctly, you would reverse the answer in a mirror. But others, you have to have a special magnifying glass. Usually they're red. The NCIS puzzle has a UV light, and it will show you what the answer of the puzzle is. So this is called a murder mystery puzzle. These are puzzle wreaths. And I made these out of jigsaw puzzles. It all started with this puzzle. This puzzle, there were so many pieces missing, I don't even want to get into it. As a matter of fact, I didn't even bother trying to put it together. That's how bad this puzzle was. It had lost pieces here, there, and everywhere. I took it and I made this wreath out of it. I started out, this is a heavy duty, it's actually a matting board, and I happen to have some in my garage, but all you need is a heavy duty cardboard or some other solid backing. And there are several layers here because I actually followed the directions that I had found online, and it was to put them down and spray paint it green. I really didn't like it at all. You can see the green in here. So I started layering all these beautiful pieces. And then when I was done, I happened to like bears. So I used textured paint, and I put that there, and I happened to have some, I just cut out these little forms just to decorate it. So this one I have a tendency to use in the summer. This is multiple layers. This particular jigsaw puzzle is of a painting done by Martin Johnson Hetty, American artist. It's called Magnolia. As of 1993, it was in the Art Institute of Chicago. So this particular jigsaw puzzle was difficult to put together, but it was only 500 pieces, 550 pieces. What I liked about it is it had a dull finish. It was a matte finish, not a shiny finish. Now I made one little mistake here, folks. I put it all together. It was a brand new puzzle, and I was pasting other puzzles onto backings, putting wax paper between, not realizing on one side of the wax paper I'd gotten some glue, Well, lo and behold, I got glue on it and it took the matte finish off certain areas. But instead of layering it like I did the other ones, I made this into a flat. I literally cut. It's the same type of backing. This is just on a heavy-duty cardboard. I spray painted it black, as you can see. And these here, these leaves that you can see on this side, were actually from some flower arrangements that I had, fake flower arrangements. So I decided to literally put this form over the puzzle, cut it, and then cut these pieces out and lay it on top, and then add these fake green leaves. So this is another one of my wreaths. And that's it for making a little coaster or making puzzle wreaths. I'm going to introduce you to some of the different puzzles on the market. This particular one I'm showing you is from NASA, and it's actually a foil puzzle. There are different kinds of 3D puzzles. This puzzle is a Harry Potter one. And when you put it together, this is literally going to be a building. Other 3D puzzles, they have it where it's flat, but they have a special finish on it so it looks like it's 3D. Another puzzle on the market is the glow-in-the-dark puzzle. This particular puzzle was created for the Audubon Society. Another fun one that I found, there's a small little 300-piece Bob Ross puzzle. And the reason I picked this one up is because I used to watch him on TV all the time when I was younger, thinking that maybe I'd learn some tips and be a great painter someday. Well, that didn't exactly happen, but it was great fun watching him. And I picked this one up mainly because it's black and white, and another thing is Ansel Adams, and you see him a lot on calendars and different things. So this one, when I saw that at the thrift store, I just grabbed it. The famous Andy Warhol that came out in the 60s and 70s with his tomato soup cans. This is another nostalgic puzzle, Marilyn Monroe, and of course there's always the Elvis Presley fans. And here is Elvis Presley at Welcome to Graceland. Here's another one. Again, you could see I purchased it at a thrift store because the tag's on there. Lord of the Rings. And, of course, I picked this one up because I'm an avid Lord of the Ring fan. This particular one, it's a lighthouse of the United States, and it's in a actual tin instead of a cardboard box. This is an actual maze, and you're trapped in the maze. And you have to put the puzzle together and solve the puzzle to help the person escape from Eden. You can also find panoramic puzzles. This is a shape puzzle. In other words, you're not going to have any straight pieces. When you are finished, is create that dragon. Thank you for watching Mary's Eclectic Interests, and I hope you have fun making your wreath or coasters.